Yo, what is going on, guys? It's PufferTheFish667 back with another video, and in today's video I have the long-awaited rotation guide for those high kill games, those 20 bombs in season 4. I get this question all the time. It goes along the lines of, Puffer, where do you rotate for high kill games, or what's the best rotation for 20 bombs? And really, you can't just answer them on the spot because there is so much stuff you have to go through. It isn't just simple, go here, go here, go here. There is a lot to take into it, and a lot you have to take into account if you want to get those perfect rotations. So that's why I wanted to make a video on it for you guys, to show you guys, kind of in my mind, how when I'm dropping those high kill games, or just when I'm getting into a game in general, where I'm rotating and where I'm going to go in that game. So without further ado, let's get right into it. So the very first thing that I need to get out of the way is, it isn't just, going from one POI to the next and then rotating to another one, landing at Refinery, then going to Capital, and then finishing off at Sorting. You don't want to set a path where you go every game. That is not how I rotate, and I guarantee that is not how any good player rotates, and it's going to be hard to get a high kill games with these rotations. It's just something you really don't want to do. Instead, you kind of want to analyze a lot of aspects on your game. You kind of need to look at the map, look at everything, and see where people are going. And there is 3 things that can help you do this, which I'm going to explain now. So the very first thing you guys want to know is the hotspot of every bus. No matter where the bus comes from, if it's the middle left, the middle right, the top right, the top left, there's always going to be some certain areas where it's just going to be super hot. It's not a guarantee because, you can't really control where people go, but there's basically always going to be people here. More often than not, way often than not, there's going to be a lot of teams here. So I've kind of broken it down for you guys. I'll give you what, I know when I'm on a certain bus where I think the people are going to go. So if the bus is coming from the very top, more towards the top right, I'd say Fragment. There's always a lot of people at Fragment, but honorable mentions here to Refinery. If you see a lot of people jump out of the bus straight away, it is a good idea to head to Refinery, because you can get some, you can get 5. I've had 6 or 7 teams jump out of Refinery on one of these buses. If you're coming from the top left, of the map, I definitely think Skyhook is the play, just because, I don't know, people that always just being attracted to Skyhook. I think the big area just brings in a lot of the team. If you're going from the middle left of the map, I definitely think Mirage Voyage is the play. This is really blown up lately, and this kind of extends down to the very bottom left of the map as well. I wouldn't really recommend Thermal, which is strange. You'd think it would be hot, but I'd say on this bus, Mirage Voyage is a lot better. When you start getting more towards, the bottom middle of the map, I'd say definitely Sorting Factory. Sorting Factory always has a good amount of people at it. People love Sorting Factory, including me. And then Sorting Factory kind of stretches all the way around to around the, middle right of the map, with sometimes, if the bus is coming from the very bottom right corner, Lava City might be a play. Just like I said, just quickly wait to see how many people jump out. If a lot have jumped out, just quickly jump. So that's basically it, from around the map where I will jump, where I've learned from playing over 2,000 hours of this game, where people are going to go. So, once you've cleared out that hotspot and no one's left, you're ready to move on to the next victims. You want to look at the ring, because the ring, it dictates where people move. No matter where you land, more often than not, you're going to have to move because of the ring. And a lot of the times, especially if the ring favors, a certain corner or a certain, top or bottom of the map, there's got to be a lot of people rotating because people go all over the map. So a big thing is storm holding. If you're near the edge of storm, just hold out there, especially if the hot zone was kind of more towards where you landed and then there was a lot of outskirts on the edge of the ring. There's going to be all the people who landed at the very end of the map all rotating in, and you've got a nice storm hold. And also, if you're in the center of the map, I feel like this happens a lot at Fragment, for a good example. You finished the initial fight at Fragment, you killed everyone that led Fragment. It might be good just to wait there. A lot of people from Overlook, from Refinery, they're going to be rotating in. So you really kind of want to look at the mini map, look at the ring and see, okay, from this map, where are people going to be rotating from? Where can I go and storm hold? Should I hold my ground and kind of just wait for people to come to me? Because, it might not seem like waiting is a good idea, but if you watch my streams, I stick around in Capital for a while because I know for a fact that there are going to be teams rotating in there from the edge of the map. So my third tip for you guys is something that I really regret not doing until recently, because I never did this towards the start of the game, but I wish I did because it can have a huge impact on your rotations. And that is to, when you're jumping out of the ship, look around and see where people are going, because like I said in that first tip, you can't control where people go. They're going to surprise you sometimes, and it happens to me a lot. I'll give you guys a good example. Towards the, bottom right, bottom middle of the map, I'm like, okay, this is a sorting bus. There's going to be at least 10 teams at sorting. I'm jumping down and I look around. There's probably 1, maybe 2 teams sorting, and I'm looking at Leaf. There's at least 4 teams. I'm looking at Thermal Station. There's 3 teams stretching over there. Even if the ring pulls over towards Capital, you'd think you want to rotate in there with the other teams. If there's that many people going to Leaf, you want to get over there as quick as possible. You want to clear out Sorting Factory, rotate to Leaf, and then rotate to Thermal. It sounds like a weird rotation, but you know what I mean? You saw the people go there. There's going to be people there. So it's a good rotation. That is why I think this is a really underrated tip. Look for people when they're coming out of the bus, and if there's a lot of people, in a certain area, or, you can see a lot of people kind of in front of you, kind of gravitating towards one particular area of the map, rotate towards that area. It is a really good tip, and it's something that I do a lot more now, and it's really useful. So this tip doesn't really fit into the analyze thing, where you're going to analyze the map, analyze the players, analyze the ring, like the previous 3 tips, but it's still important, and that is to follow shooting, because a lot of the time rotations are based off guess, what you think is going to go right, and that doesn't always happen. There's been so many times where I am so certain I'm going to find a person here and here, and there's just no one, and then I'm just looking around the map for 4 years trying to find someone to shoot at. But if you hear a gunshot, there is a very high chance that if you go to that gunshot, you are going to find a team. So always follow gunshots. Even if you really had this set rotation, you looked out of the bus, you're like, oh, I saw a bunch of people go here. Just go to the shooting. It's probably a third party. You can rack up 5, if you're lucky, 6 kills, and you can continue your rotation onwards. So if you hear shooting, just send it, go for it. So that is basically all I have for rotations. They're basically the only things I do, and at first, kind of putting all of this into one, I can see how it can be a bit, kind of hard in a way, just because there's so much things you got to think about on top of, maybe if you're already in a fight and all. But trust me, when you get this unlocked, it becomes second nature. I don't even think about this. I look at the map and my brain instantly processes it. It's instantly like, all right, I see this ring, I saw where people went, I'm going here. It really doesn't take a lot of work if you put your mind to it, and once it does become second nature, I guarantee it will help you so much on getting those higher kills, those 20 bombs, because it's definitely a lot harder in this season. In Kings Canyon, you could basically just go middle map, you'd find people, but you really have to put effort in on rotations if you want to get those high frags on this map. But that is it for your boy. If you did enjoy the video and if you learn a little about rotations, make sure to like, comment if you want, turn on notifications, all that stuff. And that is it from your boy. I'll catch you all in the next one.